Hey, what's up everybody? This is UnhingedGaming and I'm coming in hot with some more fresh high quality content. Today I am back with another Topic Tuesday, my mini podcast series. And today I wanted to talk about a little YouTube controversy that happened somewhat recently. It may not be entirely relevant at this point, but I do have some opinions on it that I'd like to share with you guys. So, for those of you who don't know about diss tracks. They're a trend that I personally love that has come to YouTube recently, where essentially a fan or another YouTuber will make a rap, sort of, dissing you, saying everything that, it's essentially a hate rap, a rap roast, if you will. And I personally think that they're great. I think that they're hilarious. I think that they are, cringy in a good kind of funny way. They're fun, and they're a really good way. There's a lot of good things about them. They, gain publicity because one channel sends a diss track to another channel, and people who didn't know about that channel suddenly do, and then that channel responds. And so, two audiences that may not even know about the other channel will both kind of get some exposure to those channels. So there's something in particular that I wanted to talk about today. It was a diss track sort of thing that happened between KSI and Net Nobody, aka, formerly Sky Does Minecraft, aka Adam, whoever the fuck you want to call him, the man of many names, who I have talked about on the series before, but I'm going to focus more on KSI in this case. So essentially, Adam sent KSI a diss track. And it was, that's the other thing. These are generally all in good fun, right? Like, you're sending a rap, roasting another YouTuber. I generally don't actually have an issue with that YouTuber, and you're just, it's all for the meme, guys, so don't take these seriously. But in this case, I feel like it did get a little bit serious because essentially Adam sends, or Net Nobody, whatever, sends a diss track to KSI, and it's all lighthearted, it's funny, he kind of played on a lot of the sort of gangster tropes. He, is like sitting there with a toy gun. There's like sort of this trying too hard element and this like subtle self-deprecation that goes with it, and it's funny. I really enjoyed it. There's a part where he's sitting in a hot tub and he lights like a comically large blunt. There's a point where he has his dick censored by KSI's face. Like, it's all very comical and funny and fun. So KSI responds, and, Adam's whole rap was completely about KSI's content. It was about his channel, as it should be. This is like a YouTube thing. You're dissing a YouTuber. You're generally dissing their content. So KSI responds with a lot of very serious real-life issues that are going on. So for those of you who aren't, like, up to date on, Adam's internet drama, he essentially semi-recently went through a divorce. There's been some issues with custody. There's been some issues with, there's been accusations flying both directions, some pretty serious ones. I'm not going to take sides on the issue because I don't know either of them personally, and I haven't even really kept up on it on Twitter. It's just, I follow him and Elisa, so I've just seen snippets of it. But there's, she's accusing him of abuse, he's accusing her of other things, the main difference being apparently he has evidence and she doesn't. But I don't even know if that's true or not, to be honest, because I haven't checked to see if he's posted any evidence anywhere, because, again, I don't really give a shit about YouTube drama. I feel like, it's their thing, it doesn't belong on the internet. In any case, KSI brought all of that into it in his response diss track, where he brought up issues such as child support and domestic abuse. He actually brought Elisa onto the video. So that's what I want to talk about today, is was he crossing the line? Because this was a YouTube-related thing. He, Net Nobody or Adam or whatever, he disses KSI's content. And then KSI responds with nothing to do with YouTube, everything about the kind of scandals that are going on in Adam's life right now, and even invites his ex-wife onto the set, which, if you ask me, is really taking sides on an issue that he has no place in, right? Like, KSI is not involved in the marriage or divorce or the custody or anything, and yet he is inviting Adam's ex-wife, who is tossing these accusations and being accused of things. So he's taking sides on an issue, on a sort of scandal that is between Adam, Elisa, and any sort of legal figures that they decide to bring into it. And then to bring up all of these other issues of these accusations that are getting thrown at him, and just things in Adam's life, right? Even comical things such as him shitting the bed, and not so comical things such as him cutting himself. Cutting. What am I trying to say? The thing that people do. Not just like, he was chopping carrots and he cut himself. The other thing. Anyway, basically, my big issue with this is that, like, this was meant to be a fun thing, and the question is, did KSI take it too far? Yes, Adam invited, a response diss track. Was it going too far to take that response and be like, oh, I'm going to bring up all of these issues that are going on in your life that are really sensitive for you right now, and I'm going to toss them in your face, and I'm going to even take sides on the issue? And I guess the big question is, first of all, was it still in good fun? Because in that case, no contest, KSI is fucked up if he's making jokes about custody and domestic abuse and cutting and all of the depression and these, like, very serious issues. If he's joking about that and he's making it into, like, this fun sort of thing, then that's fucked up. Now, if he's not, then is he crossing the line by making this suddenly serious and bringing all of these serious issues and taking sides and everything? Does Adam deserve that regardless of if the allegations are true? And it is worth noting that Adam, no charges have been pressed. That doesn't necessarily mean he hasn't done anything, but there were no charges. So I guess, well, maybe charges were pressed, but he wasn't charged for anything. So that's just the question, is that crossing the line? I believe that it is. I believe that it is too far to take real life issues and put them into this sort of cinematic YouTube thing where, it's diss tracks. It's the same as, when people roast each other on Twitter or whatnot, even like actors and things like that, to gain publicity. It's like, oh, we're going to make this kind of cinematic argument for the entertainment of our viewers, and at the same time it's going to gain mutual publicity, which is exactly what it did for Adam. Like, those got millions of views overnight, because he did a second diss track basically saying that, like, hey, KSI, you made my new channel famous, thank you. So, like, it worked out well for him, but I just want to bring this up because I feel like it's something that happens in the sort of YouTube industry a lot, where there's not enough filter between what you're doing for the meme and then actually bringing real life drama into it, that I just don't feel like has a place in YouTube. The same way that you wouldn't see actors, like, talking about what's going on in their actual life in their movies or whatever. I can't think of, like, a completely relevant example, because YouTube is definitely, in terms of media, I feel the most directly interacting with its audience, and the least sort of filter between, real life opinions, because we're not actors, we're not pretending anything. I mean, at least not all of us, some who do skits and whatnot. Just let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Like, was this an overstepping a boundary on KSI's part? Or do you think that, it still fits in because Adam did ask for it? He did ask to be dissed. But I think he asked for his content. I personally think that when someone asks for their content to be dissed, you don't diss them as a person, because that's not something that Adam ever did to KSI. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. And while you're down there, also hit that like button if you enjoyed. And if you want to see more, make sure and subscribe. I do weekly mini podcasts of this sort, and I also do Let's Plays, some rage games, some weird games. I have some other plans, so, if you want to see all that, make sure and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that YouTube actually lets you know when I upload. And also make sure to follow me on Twitter at UnhingedTweetYT, where I post video updates and let you guys know when I go live on Twitch at UnhingedGaming All of the links are down in the description. Make sure to check them out. In the meantime, I've been UnhingedGaming, and I will see you next time.